Hey Gemini, welcome to your weekly forecast for November 29th through December 5th, or whenever you happen to stumble upon this video. You're going to find it when you're meant to find it. Keep in mind these are general messages. This is a general reading. So not every single message is going to resonate. Take what does and leave what doesn't. We're going to see what's coming up here for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. What messages are coming up here for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising? One more shuffle. Gemini, I feel like some of you might be experiencing some anxiety because I'm feeling like anxiety in my heart. I'm feeling like my heart just has this really anxious feeling. This might be a good time for you to try to kind of slow down and unwind. Maybe take some sea salt baths if you're able. Some aromatherapy can be helpful. Holistic remedies might be nice to kind of incorporate here. But I feel like there's this anxiousness in your, or anxiety in your energy. We'll see what the cards have to say, and we'll see if it tells, oh. I was going to say, we'll see if the cards give me an idea of why there might be anxious energy. And bam, right out the gate, pow, we have the devil. Holy cannoli. Okay, now traditionally speaking, the devil can indicate that some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. If you have a Capricorn placement or Capricorn in certain houses, there could be big areas happening for you. And I mean, there could be big changes happening for you in those areas of your life. Okay? Now, anytime the Major Arcana card comes up, whether it's a Major Arcana card that we're happy to see or a Major Arcana card that we're kind of like nervous about, regardless. For me and my readings, anytime the Major Arcana cards come up, it's letting you know that what you're experiencing right now, you're going to be okay. You came here to have this experience. You came here to master this. You came here to conquer this. You came here to accomplish this. So, know and understand that your angels and guides are going to be around you, around these types of transitions and changes and crossroads. You're not alone. You have a spiritual team backing you up. The devil card can indicate addictions. It can indicate karmic cycles, jealousy, greed, lust, fear, all of these different components when it's coming in like more negative sense. Okay. And the reason why I'm feeling that vibe is because I said I felt really anxious. Like my heart was kind of racing as I was putting down the cards. And I'm good. I'm chill. I'm just sitting here. I'm not running around. There's nothing that's been stressing me out while I'm reading for you. But as I'm connecting with your energy, my heart started racing. I was like, oh, I feel like I was having an anxiety attack. So and then I see the devil card. So this is telling me that for some of you, you may be having anxiety. You may be very anxious about the future, okay? You may be very anxious about where your life is going and where your life is headed. And you may be really stressed out. The devil card for me can be battling the negative ego. Anytime that you're close to massive change, even when the change is good, even when the change is positive, the negative ego is going to do everything it can to stop you from moving towards that change because it's terrified of change, even when it's happy, even when it's good. So your negative ego is going to come in really strong, really heavy, the closer you are to the breakthrough. And it's going to tell you that you should just give up, that this is stupid, that there's no hope for you, that it's not going to work out. Things don't work out for you. You're not that lucky. You waited too long. It's too late now, right? Other people are making fun of you. Other people are laughing at you. The negative ego says the meanest things. So what I encourage you to do is you can work with Archangel Jophiel. You can say, thank you, Archangel Jophiel, for helping me see myself as heaven sees me, for helping me love myself as heaven loves me, for helping me see others as heaven sees them, for helping me love others as heaven loves them. And thank you for beautifying my thoughts. Thank you for bringing positivity into my mind, into my thought process. Thank you for helping me to see all the beauty around me. Thank you for bringing beauty into my life. You can also call on Archangel Michael and say, thank you, Archangel Michael, for filling my heart with your light, for removing fear from my heart and filling my heart with light and courage. Thank you for filling my heart with love. I feel that this anxiety is coming as an issue of battling the negative ego. Like right now, that negative ego is your worst enemy, because you're looking at your life and you're thinking about ways that you want to change it and ways that you want to move forward. And you're onto something big. And anytime you're onto something big, the negative ego comes in hard. But you can overcome it. You can master it. You don't have to let it punk you around. Okay? So this devil card is telling us that many of you are breaking out of limited thinking, false beliefs, old karmic cycles, old karmic patterns and contracts. You're about to level up. If you can tell that negative ego to shut up, you're about to level up. If you can move past that negative ego, that negative thought, just remind yourself, wow, I must be close to massive breakthrough. I must be close to massive change. That's why these thoughts are coming in like this. Your next card that's coming up is the Knight of Cups. This is really positive because this is telling us kind of like an action plan here. Now, I know a lot of you might be used to watching tarot for love and romance readings, or it might be that you find a lot of love and romance readings. It's a very popular topic. It's a part of human nature. We all want to know about love and romance. But unfortunately, because of love and romance readings, the Knight of Cups gets typecast as being a player, a Don Juan, someone who's not serious. And it can mean that sometimes. Don't get me wrong. That can definitely be a meaning of this card. But it depends on what the other cards are coming up around it and what the energy is of the reading. I like to focus on you in the weekly forecasts. I do love and romance separately on my channel. So if you want love and romance, you can definitely check out the love videos after this video. We're not looking at the Knight of Cups as a player, as a Don Juan. We're not looking at this as a Romeo. That's not the question that we're asking here. That's not the intention that we're setting with the weekly here. The Knight of Cups is a beautiful energy, because the Knight of Cups is the quest of the things that make the heart smile, the inspired life, the inspired path, the quest for beauty, for adventure, for inspiration. And so one of the ways that you're going to be able to break out of this anxiety, we touched upon it when we talked about Archangel Jophiel helping us to see the beauty around us. The Knight of Cups is all about that quest for beauty. And as some of you are unblocking, and as some of you are grounding and coming back into your body and being in the present moment, you're going to start to see beauty around you and very simple everyday things. This is one of the first things that happens when we unblock, especially when we're getting unblocked financially. All of a sudden you see beauty around you in very normal, simple, everyday things. Wow, I never noticed how beautiful the stoplights and the traffic lights and the street lights were on the bus ride home. I never noticed how beautiful those little blades of green grass and little plants are that are growing out of the cracks in the sidewalk. You start to see beauty in very simple things. And you're like, oh gosh, I never noticed how beautiful colors were. I just kind of took colors for granted. But man, I never noticed how pretty or how vibrant blue is, or green is, or red is, or yellow, or orange. You start to all of a sudden have an appreciation, as if you're like, I never stopped to look at that. That's one of the first things that happens when we're unblocking and we're receiving. Okay, that's one of the first ways that we begin to receive. The Knight of Cups is encouraging you to kind of embrace that creative spirit. right? Anything that's giving you emotional motivation, inspiring you, a favorite book, a favorite movie, certain types of music, going out and looking around and just taking in beauty. This is going to be a really powerful way to ground yourself and to come out of the energy of anxiety. The Knight of Cups to me tells me that you're about to go on a quest that you're going to have this love of life, appreciation of life, appreciation of everything around you, like returning to you, getting your inspiration back. Your next card coming up here, Gemini, is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is decisions and choices, deciding what you want to do. Now, because you're at a crossroads and because you're at a transition, some of you may have somebody approach you like, hey, Gemini, I've got an idea. I know you're looking to make some changes in your life. I know that you might be thinking of, starting a business or doing a career change or moving or whatever it might be. Why don't we do it together? Why don't we kind of, have this partnership here? For some of you, it could be somebody who's trying to date you. For me, in my readings, the Two of Wands says be cautious. You're in a situation here where the person you're dealing with sees your potential, sees your worth, sees your value, and is absolutely very well aware of how much they're going to benefit by having you around. They also know that you are clueless to how valuable you are to them in the situation. And so they may kind of try to lowball you. They might kind of try to take advantage of the situation, right? So, for example, you might be getting offered a promotion or you might be getting offered a new job. It's a good idea for you to do your research. What kinds of assignments or responsibilities are expected in this kind of position, so they're not sneaking in all kinds of extra things on you. What is the normal going rate? What are other people in your area being paid for this position or this kind of work? And what does it cover? What kind of jobs? What kind of tasks? And you're like, oh, okay, well, all right, well, you've done your research and you're like, that sounds great, I'm interested in the position, but as I'm looking at the responsibilities and the requirements, it seems as though it's two positions in one. And so the going rate might be X amount, but I'm happy to do this extra stuff, but since it's this extra stuff, then the going rate might be better to negotiate a little bit higher of a salary. You're coming in there with facts that can't be disputed, right? So in a work situation or promotion situation, do your homework. In a situation where it's somebody wanting to do a partnership with you or making an offer to you, ask questions, especially if it's a relationship. Somebody might come and say, oh, you know what, I'm looking for something real, but, oh, I don't want to rush it. I don't want to jump into anything. I just want to take our time in getting to know each other. I just want to go slow. Right? And you might say, oh yeah, that sounds great to me. I don't want to rush into anything either. But your idea might be dating a month or two before you figure out where the relationship is going. And you don't even know, in their mind, they're just thinking like friends with benefits. You have to define it. What does that mean to you? What does going slow mean to you? Are we going slow but also monogamous? Are we going slow but also meeting other people? How slow is slow? How much time is a good amount of time to get to know somebody before you can figure out what you want to do? Ask those questions. Somebody's telling you, oh, Gemini, I've got an extra room in the house. I know you want to go back to school. You can just move in with me, quit your job and move in with me. I won't charge you rent because we're good friends. You can just help me out around the house. You can help me with some cooking or cleaning. Maybe you can, watch my kids once in a while since you're there, since you're hanging out. You know, they're fine. They'll just sit in front of the TV. And, oh, it's fine. Sure, that sounds great. That sounds like a sweet deal. But you get there, and all of a sudden they're like having you do things 24 hours around the clock. Gemini, go to the store. Gemini, go patch up the roof. Gemini, take the laundry to the laundromat. Gemini, I gotta work late again. Get my kids dinner. Make sure that they take their bath. Make sure that they do their homework. And once or twice you might be okay, but it might be like constant. And now all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. So you might want to ask, what does that mean to you? Helping out around the house. What are the things you need me to help with? What are the things you're going to need me to do for your kids? How many hours a week are we talking here? Okay, I'm not going to go on the roof and fix the roof, right? So these are things you need to define. You need to ask questions. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't accept the opportunity. It just means you need to go into it with a clear understanding so that there's no surprises that are making you feel like, oh man, now I'm stuck, or that you have resentment. Your next card here is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords can be definitely you and that beautiful air sign energy. Queen of Swords is air. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now, personality-wise, Queen of Swords is going to be here. Boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Queen of Swords does not suffer foolishness. And she's going to stand up for herself. She's also fiercely independent because she has had to be. Her life has dealt her a hand where she hasn't had a lot of people to depend on. And she's got to do things on her own. And so she's out of patience. Either you're helping her get to where she needs to go, or you need to get out of the way. And if you don't want to get out of the way, she's going to cut you out of the way. So Gemini, the Queen of Swords, tells me that a lot of you are coming into like a very independent, very logical, very no nonsense kind of energy. You don't have time for games. You don't have time for people wasting your time. If it's a job that you're going to want to be at for a long time. If it's a living situation, you're not going to want to be like, oh, well, I got to get out of here again. If it's a relationship, you don't want to get played. You don't want to get taken advantage of. You're done with it. You're like, do not waste my time. My time is precious. And so a lot of you are learning to speak up. You're learning to ask the questions. And you're learning to stand up for yourself. Some of you are having to make a statement to the universe this week, where it's an old cycle or old pattern, and you're going to have to say, no, I do not accept this. A friend that's being disrespectful, or talking behind your back, or gossiping about you. Maybe in the past you've forgiven it, or you've given them the benefit of the doubt that's a misunderstanding. Queen of Swords says, no, bye, have a nice life. I'm not going to hold space for this kind of energy in my life. I'm not going to tolerate it. And then you make a statement to the universe that I will not accept this in my life. Do not allow this into my life. Universe says loud and clear, we're done with gossipers, we're done with backstabbers. Or situations in which you're being disrespected or taken advantage of. So some of you are taking a stand. I am also feeling the sense of time management. A lot of you have been procrastinating or getting overwhelmed or distracted, and you feel like you're falling behind. Falling behind in work, falling behind in things that need to be done. So I feel that you're going to be able to get some time management here. Get the time management down. And cut out some of the distractions, and maybe have a schedule. From this time to this time will be my YouTube break. From this time to this time will be my television break. From this time to this time, I'm going to do this. Like a lot of you are starting to implement your own little schedule, and it's helping you feel less overwhelmed. And you're starting to see progress because you're consciously paying attention of the clock. Your next card here is the Justice card. So if you have a Libra placement, you can definitely be seeing big changes and shifts in that area of your life. Now, again, the Justice card is major arcana, big changes, big shifts. The Justice card is going to be balancing the head and the heart, making fair decisions, making good decisions. And Gemini, a lot of you are very overwhelmed and you have this anxiety because it's like you listen to your heart and you feel like you get burned. You listen to your logic, your mind, and you feel absolutely miserable. And you're like, I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to choose. And the Justice card says you can choose both, actually. You can have both. You can listen to the heart and listen to the mind and say, okay, mind, how can I make this successful? How can I go about this in a way where I'm set up for success instead of just jumping in head first? Coming up with a plan. For me, the Justice card can also sometimes come up in situations where you are having to stand up for yourself. And we talked about that with the Queen of Swords. So this is emphasizing that energy for me. There could be something unethical happening in a workplace situation. There could be some discrimination situation or some way in which your physical safety is being compromised, where you don't feel physically safe, or they're having you do some dangerous things. And so the Justice card can come up to say, and I'm not somebody who advocates for people to go around suing people. I'm not like that. I'm not like, oh, go sue this person. Oh, go sue that person. But sometimes when the Justice card comes up, it's like Spirit is saying that you might have a life lesson in standing up for yourself that might involve the courts. Going to the court and standing up for yourself. Or demanding that your compensation be given to you. Maybe compensation is being withheld in some way. Maybe some of you are going after somebody for child support or alimony that is rightfully owed to you. Or an employer is doing something they shouldn't be doing. Or, something unfair happening. So some of you are not only standing up for yourselves, you may be standing up for yourself in like the court of law. So it could be a good idea if you're like, oh, you know what, Amethyst, that resonates with me. It could be a good idea for you to, start looking up lawyers in your area and get a consultation. Say, hey, look, this is my situation. As a lawyer, what do you think? Do I have a case? Is this something that I should pursue? And the lawyer will let you know, because the lawyer doesn't want to go into a losing battle. The lawyer will let you know, oh wow, yeah, okay, I can see ways that we can definitely, stand up for your rights, right? So, I feel some of you might be taking something to court here with the Justice card. Now, I don't do legal readings. I will not read on a legal matter. I will not tell you if you have a case. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. And I'm not just going to leave that to the cards. I will not leave it to the cards to predict the outcome of a case. So I don't do readings on court cases. But I will tell you this. When I see the Justice card, sometimes it can mean that you need to seek out legal counsel. That you have some rights here that might be worth pursuing. Okay? You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Bye, my dears. Take care.